Kumusta ulit kayo? How's your 2 weeks break? I hope nakapag-relax kayo. And at the same time, syempre, dapat nag-aaral din kayo. So, we are going back to our subject. Kaya medyo alug-alugin muna yung mga ulo. Nasa differential equations tayo ngayon. So, we stop at topic 4. So, now we're going to proceed to topic 5. Which is entitled as the first order and second degree. So we're still talking about differential equations. So ano ba pag-uusapan natin dito? So it means first order and second degree. So it is in the form of quadratic. Okay, pag sinabing quadratic, naka-raise to 2 yung y prime. So first order is the first derivative. Tapos, naka-second degree or raised to 2. So, if we're going to look at the form, we have a y prime raised to 2. So, first order, second degree. Now, plus by prime plus c is equals to 0. So, yun yung mga may encounter nating problems. So, anong gagawin natin dyan? Okay, where a must not be equals to 0. Otherwise, so, hindi na siya magiging under ng topic 5. No? A, B, and C are functions of x and y para hindi siya maging constant. So since it is a quadratic, as we recall on the different factoring methods, marami siya na meron siyang trial and error, completing the squares, ay what else? Meron ding synthetic, no? Kung pwedeng gamitin din. And of course, yung trial and error. So yung different methods or methodology of getting the factor, it's up to you kung saan mas mapapabilis or mag-fit. So for example, yung trial and error, you're going to use trial and error if the problem is a simple problem na yung madaling isipin. Pero pag medyo complex siya at hindi whole yung magiging sagot ng roots ng bawat variable, okay, mahirap gamitin ng trial and error. Kasi may brutal. So, anong pinaka-best na pwedeng gamitin if the roots or each root of the variable is not a whole number. So, we're going to use quadratic formula. So, again, if we're going to recall the quadratic formula, so take note of the variable, it is not x. Instead, it is y prime or the first derivative of y with respect to x. So, pinaghiwalay ko lang siya, no? So, we have two roots. Since it's quadratic, we have negative b plus and minus supposed to be. Yun dapat yan, no? Pero pinaghiwalay ko na yung plus for y prime sub 1 and minus naman, minus b minus. Ano yung square root of b squared minus 4ac? It is the, ayan yung pinaka-ano niya, no? Part ng discriminant. Okay, and for y sub 2 prime, we have negative b minus. So, yan, gagamitin natin yung quadratic formula in case na hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung trial and error. So, yun lang yung pag-uusapan natin. Parang basic algebra lang ulit tayo. So, this topic 5, differential equations of first order and second degree, is a very simple method in solving for the differential equation. So, hindi natin kailangan mag-worry dahil madali lang siya. So, let's proceed now on the example. Example number 1. Find the differential equation of y prime raised to 2 minus 7y prime plus 12 is equals to 0. So, if we're going to solve for the differential equation, so hindi na natin kailangan gamitan pa siya ng quadratic formula. So, ano yung gagamitin na natin? We're going to use directly the trial and error. So, paano ba sinasolve yung trial and error? We're going to create Okay, so sorry. Medyo pula siya. Palitan natin. Sige muna natin siya. Undo. So let's draw. Okay, so we're going to create two parentheses and solution equals to 0. So since it's y prime, so we have y prime and y prime. No? Y prime times y prime is y prime squared. And getting or solving for the factor of 12. Ano factors na 12? Can be 12 times 1. It can be 6 times 2. It can be 4 times 3. So, ano yung pipiliin nating factor? To have 7. So, pag in-add or minultiply yung 12 and 1, cannot be. No? 12 minus 1 or 12 plus 1 cannot produce 7. 6 and 2, 6 plus 2 or 6 minus 2 cannot produce 7. So, si 4 and 3 lang. No? 4 plus 3 will make 7. So, if we're going to choose 4 and 3, so we can write 4 on the first quantity and 3 on the second quantity. So, but we're going to decide, now since this is 12, positive, it can be positive times positive or negative times negative. No, pwede siya. But the sign on the second term is negative, so we're going to choose minus subtraction. So let's check using FOIL method. Now y prime plus y times y prime is y prime squared. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. So if we're going to check on the middle, nire-review ko lang kayo ha. So negative 4 times y prime is negative 4y prime. Y prime times negative 3 is negative 3y prime. We're going to add negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7 or negative 4 plus negative 3. So tama yung middle term. Okay? So let's undo that. Release. Okay, so if we have already the factors, so pwede nating i-isolate na siya or paghiwalayan. Ito yung ginagawa kong solution. So yung first part is y prime minus 4 equals 0 na pag dinivide natin sa y prime minus 3. Ang kabila naman, pag dinivide natin sa y prime minus 4, ang matitira, y prime minus 3 is equals to 0. So for the first part, so ito yung parang y sub 1. This is y sub 2. Na hindi tayo gumamit ng quadratic formula ha. So y prime can be replaced as dy over dx. Y minus 4 equals to 0. Ay yung kabila naman, dy over dx minus 3 is equals to 0. So para lang ring babalik tayo doon sa sa separation of variables. Sa first part, if we're going to multiply both sides by dx, so we have dy minus 4 times dx is equals to 0. Okay, sa kabila, multiply both sides by dx also. So we have dy minus 3 dx is equals to 0. So next, integrate. Now integrate both sides. So pag in-integrate ko, si dy minus 4 dx, i-integrate ko rin si 0, will produce 0. Pag in-integrate ko yung pangalawa naman, si dy minus 3 dx Integrate kasi 0 is still 0. And separate integral of dy minus integral of 4dx, which is equals to 0. Integral of dy minus integral of 3dx equals to 0. So, sabay ko sinusolve siya ha. Kung hindi kayang sabay isolve, pwedeng pa isa-isa. Unahin muna yung first factor. Next, pag nasagutan na, you can solve for the other factor. Okay, so, integral of dy, sige, gawin natin yon, is y minus integral of 4dx, labas ko si 4. Integral of dx is x is equals to c. So, ayan yung parang c sub 1. Or, y is equals to, okay, we have 4x plus c sub 1. So, that's the first part of the differential equation. The second part naman, we have y minus 3x is equals to c sub 2. Or, y is equals to 3x plus c sub 2. So, that's the second part of the equation. So, yan yung hinahanap ngayon nating differential equations in topic number 5. So, pag may question, you can send me your questions sa mga nagpapacheck sa akin. Very good kayo. So, kahit gabi na or late na, and namomonitor ko naman, no, at kaya kong sagutin, except if I'm driving or wala ako sa bahay, no, because I'm doing some businesses at monkey business. So, pwede nyo ma-check, pwede kong ma-check, tapos sinasagutan ko rin siya. Okay, kaya huwag kayo mahiya. Remember, malapit na yung final midterm exam natin. So, yung reporting nyo, pag-usapan pa rin natin yan. Tuloy pa rin ang reporting and of course, yung assignment. Okay, continue tayo for the second example. For the second example, find the differential equation of xy prime is to 2 minus 3x squared minus 1 times y prime minus 3x is equals to 0. So, same procedure pa rin ang gagawin natin. No? But this time, medyo pinahirapan ng konti. So, pwede ba natin gamitan ng trial and error? Pag-isipan mabuti, ha? So, parang ang hirap, no? Which one is A? Which one is B and C? So, sino dyan yung A, B, and C? So, kung lumalabas na ito si A, which is our x, si B yung buong quantity, tapos ito si C. So, mahirap gamitan ng trial and error. So, what we can do is use the quadratic formula. So, again, by recalling what is quadratic formula, solution, review tayo ng konti. So, we have y prime is equals to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So, yun yung quadratic formula. Okay, so we have b, a, b, and c. So, let's proceed. So, yung y prime in general, so may paghiwalayin na lang natin. Negative b, where b is negative din, ha? Okay, yan. Madalas nagkakamali sa sign, no? Negative to. Kaya, itong negative, fix yan. Minus or negative b, which is 3x squared minus 1. Okay, plus minus the square root of, again, yung b squared is negative 3x squared minus 1 na naka-squared. Take note of the grouping symbol. Now, you have bracket and parenthesis. Importante yan, ha? Yung negative kasama sa loob ng bracket na naka-squared. Kaya mamaya magiging positive yan. Minus 4. Our A is x and C. So, our C is negative 3x. Tignan natin. 5 over 2a. 2 times a, which is x. Okay, so we have y prime equals, okay, negative, sorry, kulang to yan. So, negative times negative makes it positive. Lagyan ko lang muna ng parenthesis. 3x squared minus 1 plus minus the square root of a negative raised to 2 is positive. So, parang naging 3x squared minus 1 raised to 2 na lang siya. Again, 3x squared minus 1 raised to 2 na lang siya. So, that's x1. 3x squared raised to 2 is 9x to the fourth. 3 raised to 2 is 9. X squared raised to 2 is x to the fourth. 2 times 3, 6 times negative 1, you have negative 6x squared. Negative 1 raised to 2 is positive 1. So, ganun yung pag-expand natin ng binomial expansion. Next, negative times negative is positive. 4 times 3 is 12. X times x is x squared. Okay, all over 2x. Okay, continue tayo ulit. So, we have 3x squared minus 1 plus minus. Pwede natin ma-simplify yung loob ng radical. So, yung parenthesis na yon kahit wala na siya, no? Kasi positive naman yung sign bago mag-open parenthesis, no? Yun yung rule natin, eh. Bago mag-open, wala na to, eh. Bago mag-open parenthesis, pag positive, pwede nang tanggalin. So, we can remove it. So, para siyang 9x to the fourth na lang. Minus 6x squared. May x squared rin to. Ano? So, negative 6x squared plus 12x squared is plus 6x squared plus 1 divided by 2x. Okay? So, next. If we're going to analyze yung nasa loob ng square root or ng radical, 9x to the fourth plus 6x squared plus 1. Okay, ano ibig sabihin analyze? Kasi siya ay PST. Ano yung PST? Perfect square trinomial. Paano ba nalalamang PST ang isang trinomial? Kailangan quadratic din siya, no? Sabi, to make it a PST, yung first term, yung 9x to the fourth, no? Review tayo yung first term para masabing PST siya. It must be a perfect square. So, yung 9x to the fourth is the same as perfect square siya. 3x squared na naka-squared. Okay, so good. Okay, next. Yung last term or third term, umaya na yung second. Skip muna tayo. Must always be positive. And at the same time, perfect square din siya. Kaya yung 1 can be 1 squared. Check. Okay, how about yung second term? Okay, yung second term yung medyo crucial, eh. Okay, so okay na yung first, second, first and third. Madaling intindihan. Yung second term must be twice. So, 2 yan. Fix yan, fix. Times the square root ng 9x to the fourth. So, ito yon. Kinuha mo yung square root. 3x squared. Times the square root of the third term, which is 1 din yun. Pag kinuha yung square root ng 1. Kailangan, ang sagot niya, yung middle term na given, which is 6x squared. So, 2 times 3 is 6x squared kasi times 1 lang. So, the same. Okay, equals. So, check. So, it means that this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. So, paano ginagawa pag PSD siya? Kunin lang yung square root ni first term, which is 3x squared. Okay, apply the sign of the middle term. Kung plus, plus. Kung minus, minus. So, plus yan. Get the square root of the last term. 1, square root ng 1 is 1. Close and square. So, yun yung process kung siya ay PSD. So, if I have square root and square, so parang makakancel na lang yan. So, may matitira akong 3x squared minus 1 plus minus 3x squared plus 1 over 2x. So, meron na akong dalawang variable ni y. Yung una, y prime sub 1, kukunin ko yung positive. 3x squared minus 1 plus, pasensya na sa sulat ha, 3x squared plus 1 over 2x. Okay, so ano yung magiging sagot niyan? Diretso na natin ha. 3x squared plus 3x squared is 6x squared. Negative 1 plus 1 cancel over 2x. Or 6 divided by 2 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. Ayan. So, ito na. Y prime sub 1 is 3x. Okay, how about y prime sub 2? Okay, kunin naman natin yung negative. 3x squared minus 1 minus 3x squared plus 1 over 2x. Okay, equals, ayun, 3x squared minus 3x squared, cancel na to. Negative 1 minus positive 1 is negative 2 over 2x. Or, y prime sub 2 is equals to negative 1 over x. So, okay, hatiin ulit natin sa gitna. Move ko lang to. Okay, yung una, y prime sub 1 equals to 3x. Y prime sub 2 is equals to negative 1 over x. Okay, so nakakasunod, no? Okay, so ganun ulit. Okay, change y prime into its other form, dy over dx equals to 3x. Tapos, separate the variables. So, dy is equals to 3x dx. No, parang kinaros multiply na lang natin. Next is to integrate. So, we have y is equals to 3 integral of x dx is x squared over 2 plus c. So, that is our c sub 1. Okay, so para hindi tayo magkagulo ha, kukunin natin lagi in terms of y, ilalabas. Yun ang final answer, huwag nyo nang guguluhin. No? Para uniform tayo at madali kong checkan kung ano man yung mga solution ninyo. Nakalabas si y. So, try natin sa y prime sub 2, the other factor. So, this is my dy over dx is equals to negative 1 over x. Cross multiply, dy is equals to negative dx over x. Next, integrate. So, integral of dy is y. Okay, yung negative, pwede ko lang ilabas. Parang iyan ay 1 over x, no? Para rin siyang ganito. Kasi baka nalilito kayo. Ayan. Okay, so, yung 1 over x, okay, pwedeng gamitin ano siya, yung ln. So, we have negative ln of absolute value of x. 5 plus C sub 2. Okay, so this is now our final answer for the second factor. So these are the differential equations. Okay, so may question doon. So this is an easy part or methods in getting the differential equation. So, more examples tayo. Siguro hindi na ako magbibigay pala ng ibang examples. I'm going to give you also an assignment also for this. So, naiintindihan naman siguro, ano? So, kung naiintindihan, again, mag-aral kayo mabuti. Pag may tanong, kayo magtanong. Again, hit like, share nyo sa kamag-anak nyo, ha? Para dumami yung viewers ko. I congratulate us kasi nasa 401 na yata yung subscriber. Okay, so sana ma-share nyo, lalo na rin yung may mga kakilala or kaibigan na nag-aaral din ng engineering. So makatulong din sana ito. So again, thank you very much and God bless all. God bless us all. So be safe. Okay, love you. Bye.